last one was. So if this isn't too big, can we collect the whole thing? Let me see if Gary wants the whole thing.
The rock's definitely too big.
Never heard you say that before.
Yeah, we don't need that.
I'm gonna try and break it.
Giving us all the
Just
fun
checking the
tasks.
notation.
Dan's having a field day over here.
Carnage. Am I too close to it for the DSC? Am I? Zoom in there a bit,
How
Steve.
big?
Coming in.
All right.
Okay. He would like the whole thing if it's not too big for a box.
Oh, it'll fit in the box. Can we put it next to the other one in the front?
Sure.
What, 8, 9, 10 inches across? You want a lasers off shot too, and the base and all that?
Yes, please.
Lasers off.
We got that, Taylor?
Yep, got it.
We can zoom in on the base there.
Coming in. Full zoom.
Are you guys, you want the whole base? Is that the part you're interested in, or?
We're interested in the whole
branches, or-
animal.
Right,
Yeah, the whole
Roger.
thing. The base isn't as important as the aging study, but I'm pretty sure this will just pop off. They don't hold on very well.
So if I grab it right there on the tree trunk, try and pop it off, you're happy with that?
Yep, yes.
Okay.
And even if it breaks, we'll be happy with it.
Great. You want to try that's a full zoom, is it?
Yes, full zoom.
Hold on, let me go. Get one pull-up shot there. Oh, we're getting there, whipping up.
Erica, I feel like this one clearly looks different than the last one we were looking at. Do you feel that too?
I think they're very similar, but I'm pretty sure this is Cybogorgia. It's got a white skeleton, and the polyps are a little pale pink, which is what I'm used to when we've been collecting with MRE.
Zoom out, Steve.
Yeah.
Coming wide.
When we start to move it, the polyp should retract, and we'll see how white that skeleton is.
Okay, you can zoom back in on. That's good there, I think. Just had to test it.
Okay. Great.
Very nice.
Look, Mom, I picked you a flower.
This one's for Gary.
The polyps popped in, did they?
Yep.
We're starting to.
Yep.
You want to zoom in there, Steve, while we play with the box?
Full zoom.
Roger. Okay, you can bump the box out a bit. Jake?
Yep.
No. Look at it with the bubble camera and make sure nothing's flying out of there. Yep. Keep going. Another bump. That's it, is it?
That's it.
Okay, Steve, you want to zoom out and we'll see if this one will.
Full wide.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Mm.
It's pretty spongy. You can probably force it in and it won't do much damage.
Yeah, I didn't know if you want to get any contamination with the other one. If it's spongy, I'll just
Can,
go like I was and just
can it
twist it
go in the
right in.
box on the right?
That's the starboard side.
Yes.
I think it'll be easier to get it in this one. If it doesn't fit in the right one, I'll really have a hard time. I think I can get it in here without. Just gonna play with it for a minute and see how it.
Now that the polyps have retracted, it's pretty neat to see like the main trunk area is pretty white and then the outer tips have a faint pinkishness. So that's probably what we were looking at on the last one.
Yes, right.
Come on. This box is harder because it's more like trying to scratch your armpit with the same arm. It's really tight. We don't have that range of motion that we have with the other one, so it's frustrating.
Looking good.
That's kind of a great shot. Could we snap a shot of that?
Yep,
Cool.
got it.
Thanks.
Oh, spaz. Stay.
Excellent work.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
It's in there. Tuck this guy back in, or you're not worried?
Looks good to me. Yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't worry about that tip.
Taylor, and that was 020.
Correct. 020.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dan.
My pleasure.
Awesome.
So rather than looking for more corals, I think we should just try to head to our next transect. I
Sure.
think we've done a great job with these collections. It's been great.
Great dive so far.
Zoom in just. Yeah, perfect. Or something like that. That other bird is back on, right?
Sorry, what was that? Other vert. Okay. Sorry, misheard you.
2K. That's it. Where are we going? 080.
Yep. Roughly. So I'm going to do a 70-meter step 080.
Roger.
Bridge nav. $70 bearing 080. Thank you. So once we're at K, that will be outside of our 100-meter zone. And then from K to L, which is the next target, our bearing will be 070. So as soon as we hit K with the ship, after this, at the close of this move, I'll change the course to 070 or about 150 meters.
Thank you. So that was an exciting first few hours for sure. Thanks for all that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Time goes by quicker though.
Come up 5 if you want, Jake. Somewhere in there is good. This is not a transect, we're just stepping, or we're just moving, right?
We're stepping to K, just moving to K, and then at K we'll start a transect.
All right.
Our speed right now is 0.3. We can speed up if you want, or keep doing this.
If you're asking, science doesn't mind you going faster. It's up if you were asking me, but otherwise, whatever you guys need to do.
What did we do the last transect at 0.5? Yeah.
Last transect was 0.5, yeah.
Yeah, we can bump it up. Everything's, now that everything's moving.
Roger. Bridge nav. Increase speed to 0.5. Thank you. Yeah, I think that terrain is gonna be fairly easy.
Yeah, it looks like our autos are behaving tonight, which means we have the vehicle ballasted nicely.
Yeah, looks great. Seeing a lot of dead bamboo coral out here. I wonder how
Yeah.
long that's been there.
Long enough to be stripped of its polyps by sea stars and nudibranchs.
Yeah, I would suspect that that's quick, but do you have any idea of how long a coral skeleton would last down here?
No, but we have been starting to do some experiments at Sur Ridge south of here, which is due west of Big Sur. And we have been putting some, not if a fresh bamboo gets knocked over, we will revisit it repeatedly over the years to see what happens to it, to see how quickly or slowly it starts to just disintegrate. And the bamboo coral has these nodes, I think they're proteinaceous nodes, and those will start to fall apart faster than the calcium carbonate of the skeleton. So we will definitely see some disjointed, like, finger bones.
Yeah,
It's not together anymore. So it might happen quicker than we think.
it's pretty interesting that the
yeah.
that the nodes are quicker going than the internode. Bridge nav. Let's add a step to this. 150 meters, bearing 070. Thank you.
Are those dead coral there?
Yeah.
The skeletons, yep.
You can really see the components of the skeleton there.
So there's a bamboo coral with those sweeper tentacles that help to deter predators from climbing up it.
Oh, is that what they're for? pretty cool.
They have these nematocysts, stinging cells that sea stars and those big nudibranchs, they don't like it very much.
Very pale mushroom coral.
Okay, we're 100 meters out from our last end, so we can start this as the start of transect 2.
Great. And Kirsten, that is a pink paragorgia for sure. And a
I was
cibogorgia
just
on the
gonna
right.
say,
So that's the difference.
yeah, yeah. And so I did see 2 earlier, smaller individuals, but yeah, that makes sense to me. Thank you.
Okay. Let us know when you want to begin.
I'm ready.
All right.
The bearing.
070.
Okay, here we go. Start out a little quick to get out from underneath the ship there.
Raj.
Wrong button.
The pink paragorgia is really much more, seems to be thicker, kind of more bulbous. Do you feel like that's the case?
Yeah. And I think they tend to get much bigger than cibogorgia.
Should I check that we're as wide as we can be before we get too far underway?
Oh yeah, we'll want the lasers on as well.
No.
Good
Call
catch.
lasers.
Okay.
There we go.
Camera set.
Camera set. And Jake, you'll want the sub bottom up because we will be going slightly upslope. We'll just take it.
I don't trust the Argus altimeter.
Never. I think blinks too much for me to ever be comfortable with it. But I guess when it is accurate, it's accurate.
You can put the camera up over there on the...
Yeah, you don't need that.
Unless you're looking at that one constantly.
Do you want me to slow for a little?
Yeah, I'm at 0.3 and I'm not winning the race.
Bridge
There.
nav. Slow speed to 0.3. Thank you.
So far on this dive, we've seen 2 species of black corals. The pink paragorgia, the cibo, I don't even know if I have that pronunciation yet.
Sibogagorgia.
Sibio. Thank you.
It's okay. Tongue
We've
twister.
also had Swiftia simplex. I'm pretty sure I saw a Swiftia fan, the mushroom coral, as well as some soft corals. Did I miss anything?
Did you mention the bamboos?
Yeah.
Keratoisis and Isidella. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Two.
Yeah, we've had a nice variety. And
Great diversity here, and just pretty amazing to see these big individuals.
Let me slow a bit more.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, I think.
0.2. Bridge nav.
I don't get why we're not.
Slow speed to 0.2. Thank you.
I'm already at the maximum for the transect.
I can always hold and start up, but that'll try to avoid that.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit of coral skeletons we've been seeing.
yeah, and I'm surprised to see so many Sibogagorgia.
So another hard flat transect here.
Perhaps we see more Sibogagorgia than Paragorgia is that they tend to be smaller, and it may be all that these rocks can support, whereas Paragorgia gets really large, and they may not do so well. They may flop over if their substrate is just a small cobble. Just a question. That bamboo has been denuded down below.
Yeah, that's interesting. Does this feel like a typical number of skeletons?
Yeah, I don't think it's abnormal to see these. I don't think it's a mortality issue. I think it's just a natural occurrence.
That yellow sponge.
Mm.
A couple nice Paragorgia.
Yeah, big one.
Polyps in, it looks like.
I don't think we
Oh,
would.
look at that fountain sponge.
So if one of these larger corals were to die, would the skeleton reflect the entire branching structure that we see?
It should. Mm-hmm.
'Cause I don't think we've seen too many skeletons that look as big as the live ones we've seen.
I guess it depends what the interval would be as when it fell and when we were observing it, because it will start to decompose or disintegrate into
Sure.
the sediment.
Okay.
I wonder if there's also a bit of a selection bias of the ones that are dead weren't faring so well with their orientation or what have you, and the ones that are successful seem to be successful for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a conjecture.
Smaller individuals having failures with smaller rocks early on.
Yeah, yeah. So that one we saw tipped over, the big one, was kind of anomalous.
Hmm.
Erica, like the one on the left here with the base stripped, is
Mhm.
that going to impact the rest? It's not like a tree that's had its bark stripped at the base, so it's just about the polyps that it needs to be structurally found and live polyps elsewhere. So basically, that base not being populated by polyps should be okay, right? That makes
It
sense.
should. The ones that are, it should be, the ones that are lacking their sweeper tentacles will be more prone to getting a predator crawl up on it. That would be the Isodella. But otherwise, it's not going to hurt the rest of the colony
Right,
if it's
yeah.
lacking polyps, yeah.
That makes sense.
Is there something in the bottom left of the stills cam that's
Yeah, the camera.
the mount?
No, the
Bubble?
the protective ring around the dome. The dome mount. You can put different lenses in that camera and
Oh, shark egg case
set them
down to the right.
in or out.
Oh, yeah, good eye.
Or skate.
Yeah, or skate. It did look more like a skate.
It did.
So that delta is always, that's off the depth, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's off the Paros. But
Absolutely, it's off the Paros, otherwise it wouldn't work through the water column. So
unless it's, yeah, because it's always on. It doesn't switch over to the altimeters or anything. It would be
Correct.
Paros the whole time.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you have DBL or Herc's altitude, that delta's always a valid number as far as how high the Argus is off the seabed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Except in the case where it's swinging over if Herc's on the side of a cliff and except in the case where it isn't.
Yeah.
Like last night when it was, Argus was up on the cliff and we were down below.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's only so high that cliff can be or ledge can be before it's not tolerable and we have to reorient.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons too we like to keep Herc out in front because it's the feeler gauge, right?
Okay, that's 150 meters. Is that good?
Great, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Just notate it on our sheet here. Okay, let's just continue on our path forward and have some separation, and we might start another transect in
Okay,
a
yeah,
little bit.
we're still heading towards 2L, ship's still moving.
You want to change his speed?
Sure, you want to go back up to 0.3 or 0.5?
0.5, I think.
Bridge nav.
Unless they were going to stop and sample, then it'd be 0.3, but 0.5 is good.
Let's increase speed to 0.5.
Same bearing to the next waypoint?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, so typically, like if we're going to keep, we typically have our exploration speed of, if it's real slow and there's a lot of zooms, 0.2. And then that way you have time to stop and zoom, and then you just have to go catch up. But then 0.3 is a little zippier. 0.5 is kind of like you have to then loop back, which isn't, it's fine in 1,000 meters of water. The problem, it becomes problematic when it's 3,000 meters of water, which we're about to be at. At least that's how we have been operating here.
Yeah, depends on the current too, right?
Yeah. A lot of factors. But, and of course the terrain, so still okay with 0.5 here. But yeah, and going with what you said, like, you know, having to minimize ship stopping, that's why it's kind of like one of those things where you just set it at 0.2 and you just leave it, and then you can have time to go and sit and look at things, but knowing that you have to eventually catch up. It was especially important with the prior DP system, which was not as reactive. Now the system is still reactive, but the water column, we can't really change the pendulum.
And so that's been my experience where we got, you know, multiple wires in the water. We do a small move to 5 or 10 meters. It's almost you get the move down at depth as soon as you move the vessel. It's when you take off from a start or a stop.
Yeah.
Where the drag on the wire is persistent. Like if you just do a small move, there's no.
Yeah, if the drag is at its happy angle, then yeah, it's reactive, but it becomes a bit more treacherous in terrain on cliffs and stuff.
All right. It seems like when the ship stopped and we take off, it takes like forever for the TMS or Argus to move. But
it's about
if the ship is stopped and it just does a 10-meter move, then Argus moves right away. Because you don't have all that, 12,000 square inches of cable surface.
In 1,000 meters of water, it's been about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2,000. Yeah, I can try to time it again. 2,000 meters, it's more. 3,000 is painful trying to figure out. So what we did last year with Chad, and it was just kind of, we set a speed of 0.3 and we just said, that's it. We're just going to keep going and give very limited time for samples and stuff like that. But that's how we covered a lot of ground and got to some interesting sites. It's a trade-off, as I'm sure the scientists on shore are aware of and have to budget either way. Looks like this is the start of our little slope.
Jake, when you switch from report to bio camera? Is that a salvo that you fire, or is it just?
It's on the Herc camera page.
Could you test something for me and switch it to bio camera?
Sure.
The reason it does that is we're using the same video channel for 2 cameras.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
turn off one and turn on the other.
Yeah.
They're physically soldered together, so we can only have one on at a time.
Yeah. I'm looking at these backup recorders that we have running, and
So
I thought that was gonna. I have Herc Zeus and Argus Zeus on these certain channels, and then at certain times during the dive, I look up and it's switched off of
yeah.
those. So I'm trying to figure out what's causing it to change up there. But and I thought that was going to do it, but that wasn't it. So
does it freak it out, does it?
nope.
You might need to increase speed if we're going to stay at 0.5.
Yeah, I just, sorry, I thought I did.
No worries.
I think it has to do with salvos.
So scientists ashore, first of all, feel free to let us know if you want to talk more about the bio. But regardless of that, we have on HiPAC screen, which is on channel 3, kind of the broad view here. So I'm thinking you want a straight shot from 2L to 2M, but you can let me know otherwise.
Okay. For now, yes. I'll look at my other maps here.
Sure. I also can put up either backscatter or the slope, whatever you want.
Okay. Be nice to see backscatter.
Backscatter coming up.
Okay. Our our geologist in the science chat says it might be good to go further north into the steeper area between 2L and 2M.
Okay.
We might just veer off course a little bit to get that.
Yeah, depending on how steep it is, we'll see.
Okay.
But we can certainly do it. But
Better come up a bit, Jake. They're out in front of me now. Just slow them down a bit, Ernie. I can't
Roger. Bridge nav.
seem to get out in front.
Slow speed to 0.3. Thank you.
Jake's uphill from me too. I'm gonna
Yeah.
bring the head.
And Rennie, when we get out of that 100-meter radius,
Roger.
just let us know. Thanks.
Okay, I'll set another boundary here. So approaching. Yeah, this is where it gets a bit hairy when we slope and. But we're not on transect now, so you can zip ahead if need be.
And the question
Maybe we'll get
whether
one more
that changes
transect.
the. I'm gonna try an experiment here.
Sorry, what was that about the transect?
I was just thinking maybe we'll get one more transect in before the shift change.
Yeah, it might happen during, depending on when they come up. And
Okay.
but we can always hand off with it going.
So changing the heading while it's in auto XY doesn't change the
Course,
course over ground.
nice.
So as I spin my head around the lateral, it starts working harder.
I'm wondering if there's a limit at which the laterals can't go that fast.
There is.
So Guy Cochran is saying that this rock we're seeing is talus from bedrock upslope. So it's fallen down.
Bridge nav. Let's reduce speed to 0.2. Thank you. Okay, we're 100 meters out. If we want to start that transect, we can continue on this 070 for a bit, and then once we hand over and finish the transect, they can choose to go upslope if they want.
Okay.
That's
Guy is saying that we might want to go up a little bit to get on the bedrock.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
We can do that now. I'll have
Okay.
to arrest development here. I know it won't.
I can go up while it.
Yeah, why don't you get ahead and we'll change course to 030. We'll go up this slope for the transect. I'm a little worried about the changeover, but on a transect.
What?
Going up slope for people who haven't been looking at it yet.
Rennie's job to worry.
Yeah, that's
He
what I
doesn't
do.
trust his crazy ROV pilots. Gonna wreck his equipment.
All right, once you're about 030 and in front of Argus, I can just change the course now. Bridge nav. Let's change course to 030. Thank you. So I'll go up this slope here. Like
Copy. Yeah. First, what do they call those? A boot sponge. I haven't seen one. What was the last group calling them? A sheepdog sponge?
I didn't hear that.
And it had to be more shaggy than that to be a sheepdog sponge.
It was, yeah, I thought it was a shaggy dog. Shaggy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What an awesome shift. That's more like what I would expect from a National Marine Preserve, Marine Sanctuary.
There's a fallen big one. Okay, whenever you're comfortable, Dan, we can call it the start.
Yeah, I think we wanted to get up into some of the bigger rock up here. Is that what's the deal?
That's when we're starting the transept, and we'll go up it as we go. So that's what the 030.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely getting 45 there. If you can. What's the bearing, right?
030.
030.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
It'll be upslope. Maybe a bit angular. You'll have to adjust as you go.
Look at that, freaking massive. Again, there's no way you could rip that one off.
That one's planted.
Break the manipulator trying to get that.
I think you'd have to take the rock with you.
What's that?
You'd have to take the rock with you.
Yeah. We were trying to get a dead bubblegum coral off of a rock once. They wanted the stump to do aging. We literally broke the manipulator trying to get it. No way it was giving it up. Okay, I'm just gonna get close to him to make sure our altitude.
Erica, what was downhill from the Paragorgia?
What was that?
Say again.
I was wondering if anyone saw what was downhill from that big Paragorgia.
No, I didn't. Did you want to pop down there and look?
What's that?
Mm,
No, I'd like to keep going.
Okay.
If that's okay.
no, it was just a question.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Set.
Good to go?
See,
You want to call the start of it?
see what the autos do here.
I'm still moving at 0.2, by the way.
Roger.
Going, just changed to 030. So Argus is going to start to feel that move soon.
Yeah, slide out in front a little bit.
Yeah.
See how it behaves here before I click in the button.
Yeah. I'm also wondering if we should just hand this over not moving. There'll be a lot of talking.
Yeah, but Jess will be. She'll sit down and focus.
Okay.
We could wait if you're not comfortable though.
No, I think we'll be all right. We just have to get everybody right on it and not have a lot to hand over. You have a lot to hand over?
Yes and no. It would be better to wait.
Okay.
Should have waited on that big bubblegum or Paragorgia when it takes some digital stills.
Well, we're still moving now. We can just hold when we're done. So for now, we can just look around as our tether allows, and I'll hold the ship once we.
You can. Well, yeah. It's up to you.
Yeah.
So are we holding off on starting the transect? Is that what
I
I'm
think
hearing?
so. We're on the side of a cliff here, and there's a lot of
Okay.
pretty rocky, so it's it could go smooth as silk, but when we're changing chairs and there's 6 people coming in and all talking individually and 6 people wanting to get out.
As Argus rockets towards a cliff or a increasing slope, rather.
Yeah, if it was flat, there would be no drama, but.
Sounds good. Well, thanks
Speaking-
before we get off. Thanks for the great shift. It was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
watch.
that was
Thanks for the opportunity.
fantastic.
It was
Thank you both.
awesome.
You had a lot of good
I am
tasks.
gonna go ahead and hop off and let chat on. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
too.
watching.
Good night.
So you're gonna pause the ship, or have you?
I can do it now, yep.
Yeah, might as well.
Bridge nav. Let's hold position here. Thank you. Should have some cool stuff to look at. It's interesting that the coloration is almost like weathered. The rock somewhat oxidized or something. Altered. as they say it in the most general term. That's quite steep there, isn't it?
Tis.
There's some good stuff.
This looks like a good place to stop if the Argus will stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Just creeping in on that slope there, watching Argus's sonar. Wow, there's a lot in this area here.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it'll be a productive transect up the slope.
Okay, we're switching over in the video chair. Good watch, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Awesome.
Here, hey, Erica, Chad's on.
Hi, I'll go to Nautilus channel, okay?
Okay. You want me to be just on Nautilus or SPL?